And welcome back, and it's the Further Maths 10th of May. And let's just go straight to the first one. Right, so we have a rearranged question. And notably, this is one of those whereby C appears twice. So it's what we often call the harder version of the question. Now, there is a sort of technique we do here. So the first step, multiply through by the denominator, which is going to give me yc cubed minus 8y is equal to 9c cubed plus 3x. Then, what do I need? Always go back to what I need. I need C to be the subject. In other words, I need my answer to be C equals something. So I'm going to collect all the C's on the left-hand side, which is going to give me yc cubed minus 9c cubed is equal to, everything's not a C on the other side, so that's going to give me 3x plus 8y. Then I'm going to factorise out the c cubed, which is going to give me c cubed y minus 9 equals 3x plus 8y. And then my final step, which is going to give me my answer, is going to be to divide by y minus 9. So that's going to give me 3x plus 8y over y minus 9. However, this one's got a little extra trick in it, hasn't it? Because it's not c, it's c cubed. So therefore, I'm also going to take the cube root of both sides. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that over slightly so I'm not squishing it in. So the cube root of 3x plus 8y over 9 minus y. First question, done. Next question. Okay, so the next question says f of x equals something. For all values of x, what is the range? So the range is the output. If we think about what this looks like, this is a quadratic which is upward sloping. So in other words, it must be the case that y exists for all values that are greater than the y value of the vertex. So if I knew what the vertex was, I would know that y is greater than all those values. So if I rearrange f of x using completing the square, that's going to give me x minus 1 squared minus 1 minus 8, which is minus 9. And so therefore my vertex is 1 minus 9, which means my range is going to be all values that are greater than or equal to, because I can get to minus 9, greater than or equal to minus 9. Question done. Next and final question today. So we have one of these classic differentiation questions. So you're going to set something up, you're going to rearrange it, and then you're going to get an equation that you can differentiate to find a maximum or minimum. So this one, farmer creates a rectangular pen for his chicken. So just to state the obvious, rectangular meaning it's an x times y or a length times width. And it tells me the width of the field is x. Okay, that's on the diagram. And it says the perimeter is 140 meters. And it says show the length of the rectangle is 70 minus x. So what it wants you to do here is it wants you to create another unknown. And I know this is going to be such that my perimeter P is equal to y plus x plus y plus x. And that's going to be equal to the perimeter in the question, which is 140. Then if I collect my y's and my x's, well, that tells me that 2y plus 2x is equal to 140. Or in other words, y plus x is equal to 70. Which means, what do I want? I want the length. In other words, I want to know what y is. So therefore, y is just equal to 70 minus x. First part of the question done. Now, the setup of these questions is almost always the same. You're going to use one piece of information to find out, in this case, what y is. And then you're going to put that y into the next thing, which you're probably going to differentiate. So the next thing says show that. So show that the area of the field is this. So the area of the field is going to be x times y, which is the same as x times the thing I've just worked out, which is 70 minus x, in other words, from above, which if I expand this is going to be 70x minus x squared, which is the thing I'm looking for. Question done. Crucially, I have a formula for the area just in terms of x, which means when it says use differentiation to find the maximum value of x, I can find dA, how my area changes, when I change my x, which is going to be 70 minus 2x. And then I can say I want that to equal to 0 because I want the turning point or the maximum or the minimum. And then if I work out what the x is here, that means that 70 is equal to 2x, which means that x is equal to 35. Now, this one actually doesn't want the value of a, it just wants the value of x at which this occurs. So that is indeed my answer. X is 35. The whole thing is measured in meters, so x is technically 35 meters, but that shouldn't really be required for this question. And that is it, question done. Good mix of questions over today. Let me know how they went for you. Do like, subscribe. See you tomorrow.